Good morning, Shefa, Baruch v'atzlucha. Okay, we are on parashat Beaalotecha. The beginning is the menorah, Beaalotecha, and the question that everybody is asking when talking about Beaalotecha, Tanerot, what is Beaalotecha? Beaalotecha, when you lift up the candles, what do you mean? We are talking about the menorah. You light the menorah, Be'adlikcha et menorah. But here is something that to elevate. First of all, we're talking here about education. We're talking about the light of the Torah. You just now received the Torah, and the menorah is really the symbol of the light of the Torah. That is, we are going to go to with the light, with this light, into the normal life. And when we're talking about elevate, is also education. When you want to educate your kids, students, or whatever, you have to give them the tools that they are going to function after you leave them. Like when we're relighting the candles, especially on Hanukkah, and sometimes the candle, it doesn't work. So we do it again and again till the flame gets up. That's what he's saying here. You are going to invest in the student, your children, in a way that you don't leave them till they have the right tools to, when you leave them, to elevate themselves, that the light is going to go up to heaven, up. And this is the part of education that we have to understand, to give also the right tools. But before we go on this, I want to talk about something else. We just now received the Torah, and we have to walk in the way of the Torah, and the light of the Torah, the light of the menorah, is showing us the way. Very good. But not everybody is going to this light. And this is one of the things also in our parasha, and I have to talk about it. Vayi am kemitonenim. And the people were complaining. But look what's written here. Kemitonenim. They were like, they're not mitonenim, they were like complaining. Like, in other words, the complaint was not exactly what they were talking about, but there was something behind. Later on, we see what's written with the people. Ve'asafsuf. Asafsuf is the Erev Rav, those who came, the Tzigakimers, those who came with Am Yisrael. They are not a part of Am Yisrael, and they did a lot of damage to Am Yisrael. And here, they itavut ahava. They got this lust for what? Like, they were crying, and who cried with them? We just learning. Rashi is saying this is the Erev Rav. How does he know? Because written Vayishuvu Vayivku Gam Bnei Israel. What is Gam? Also the children of Israel, which means that what we talked before is not the children of Israel. This is the Erev Rav. And unfortunately, the influence is also on Bnei Israel. And everybody's crying, Mi achilenu basar, who is going to give us meat? And here is a few questions. Sorry. They are getting meat. What are they talking about? Because we all know that when parashat Aman, we look in parashat Aman, that we're saying that this was many, a lot of time before, when they got into the desert, and it's written very clearly in parashat Aman that in the morning they had the manna, but in the evening they had slav, that they had meat. So and what do they get now? Also the same meat. So what's going on here? But the thing is, it avut ahava. It was lust for let's say the lust of the meat, of the flesh and blood of a human being. Like, they didn't like anymore to see this glorious manna that comes from heaven, which is 100% spiritual, and you had every taste you wanted on it. So who wants to eat something else? But they wanted to go after the daily things, after the physical things, the materialistic things. They had enough of all this spirituality. And this is the problem. When we see today also, you see, I don't want to go into politics too much but it's very clear. When we see how people are going in demonstrations, different demonstrations that got nothing to do with each other, and there's the same people. Why? Because they're not really demonstrating for what it means. It was for the kidnaps, it was the corona, it was the court, it was a lot of things, and every time you look, it's the same people. Why? Because this is the Erev Rav. What they want is to go against the government, for in this example, and they doesn't care what it is. Whatever they can do, they're going to do. So demonstrating against this, against that, against that. And this is the Erev Rav. Unfortunately, they influence the people. And one of the main things, I'm not talking about right and left, I'm talking about the Torah. We just now received the Torah. Look how they're going against the Torah, which is unbelievable. You know, we see around us, we have this Mitzadaga, the proud, the month of pride, of the gays community. And you tell, what's going on here? You know, you're so tolerant and saying that we have to be equal and everybody deserves to do what he wants. Okay. When you do a month of, let's say, of the La'atabim, of the gays, why don't you do a month of Masoret, of tradition, of the Jewish tradition? And for example, the Iriya is supporting buses for free on Shabbos to clubs at night and in the day to the sea, to the shore. And I'm asking, 1 minute, why don't the Iriya support those who want to get to the Kotel in the middle of the week? Give them also free ride on buses, and so on. We see that it's not really it's I'm loving myself, and if you don't think like me, I don't care about you. And we see it all the way around. Talking about limudei liba. What is limudei liba? Like the basic of learning that you should have in every school. So I looked around to find out what is limudei liba. And I found out that among all the science and mathematics and geometry and language and whatever, there is also Masoret Israel tradition, and Tanakh, the Bible. You go and ask pupils all over Israel, not a religious one, from the general community, you will find out they know nothing about the Jewish tradition, nothing about the Bible. So where are the limudei liba? Why nobody's talking about this? Before you talk about the Haredim, that they should learn all those limudei liba, talk about the real limudei liba. Who are we? What are we doing here? Do we need our enemies to tell us that we are Jewish and it doesn't matter? They don't care if you're religious or not religious, if you're righty or lefty. They don't care about you, Hasidic or whatever. They don't care. You're Jewish, they want to kill us. So why don't people realize it? And because this is maybe one of the things that hurts me a lot, we have to find a way how to show the people the right way. Don't let the Erev Rav disinfluence. So how do we do it? With the light of the menorah. Show them the light of the menorah. How do we do this? I can tell you, for example, in our offices in Besser, in Petach Tikva, they give lessons. There is a koilel, and the koilel organizes davening and lessons, and for every yontif they do something, lectures to everybody. And you see the thirst. People want to know. They want to learn. I'm not talking about the religious people. Of course, they're coming to daven, of course, but I'm talking about the non-religious that are coming and participating in all the shiurim and everything. And this is what we should do. We should try and say and tell them, like it's written in the parasha. When we're talking about the parasha, is written, Al pi Hashem yachanu, ve'al pi Hashem yisau. And read those psukim, and you see it's written again and again and again. So they parked when God told them to park. They moved when God told them to move. It didn't matter if it was 1 day, 1 night, 2 months, 1 year, 2 years, week. God told them to go. They packed everything and went. Even if sometimes they came in the evening, just were unpacking and starting building the tents, and suddenly, okay, the cloud goes up, we have to go. They went. Didn't ask question. The way of God. This is the way that we should go. Yeah, it's very easy to say. Of course, we know it's not easy to do. But if we show the way, if we show the people the way of the Torah, if we show them, if we show them the beauty of the Torah, and in a nice way, maybe this is the way to our influence on others. And you have to understand, when we look around and we see something amazing, and when we talk Al pi Hashem yachanu, Al pi Hashem yisau, that God is the one, we have to understand it goes both ways. If we think for a minute that we control the world, no, God controls the world, and He, according to what God wants, everything moves. The Rav Adam Sinai says, for a beautiful example, Imagine yourself, you go on a train to Jerusalem, but you want to go to Haifa. So you can run in the train in the direction of Haifa as quickly as you want. Would you get to Haifa? No, because the train is going to Jerusalem, to Ir HaKodesh. And in other words, if you think you can go against the Torah, you're mistaken. The Torah has a way, Al Pi Hashem Yachanu, Al Pi Hashem Yisau, and it goes with God's way, and God has the direction. Direction is from this world to the next world. So if you're clever, you're on the train, you cannot get down of the train, and you cannot go you can try and go in a different direction, but eventually the train will get you to Olam Haba. So prepare yourself in a better way to see. And when we're talking about Hashem Yachanu Al Pi Hashem Yisau, I will never forget, 2 years ago, we had an exhibition, and that normally we go to it in furniture exhibition. This is our field. And unfortunately, we couldn't make it. So we went to the Canton Fair. I told you about the Canton Fair is the biggest fair in the world. It's divided to 3 phases, like for a whole month, and you have everything you can even think about in the world is there on those exhibitions. It's miles on miles. It's endless. Like you cannot. So we go to the phase where we have also the furniture, and we were very. We didn't think we'll see a lot because. We normally go on this furniture exhibition. It's a furniture exhibition. Everything is furniture, but here it's going to be a lot of other things. You know what? This was one of the best exhibitions that we've been. This fair was the best of the best, and we learned a lot there because there were very small booths, and you think for a minute, what are this? And then suddenly you realize when you start talking, they're talking about huge firms. And some of them we knew, and some of them we work with, and we realized what is those small booths that show you that the real thing is not what you see from the outside; it's what's inside. So outside we see the people are going against, but the inside is most of the people in Am Yisrael want the tradition, and exactly here we saw on this thing like what is inside is the important thing, because those small booths contains inside the biggest firms in China, and it's unbelievable what connection we got there. And the best thing was for us that because it was a big exhibition, Jews came from all over the world. We had a hotel near the exhibition, like 2 minutes walk, and there we had davening, we had the synagogue, we had food, all kosher. Right near the town, near the exhibition. Normally, we stay in Bet Chabad, which is far away. We have to take a taxi to the exhibition. It takes around an hour, and then we go back. This is a whole big balagan. Nobody wants to take us, and they want double the money. And really, it's a whole big mess. Why? Because even though it's far from the exhibition, we want to be in Bet Chabad, near Bet Chabad. So we have our davening, we have our food, kosher food, and everything, and Baruch Hashem, this time we didn't have to go all this time. Like God, paid us. It says, okay, and now I'm going to give you big time. I'm going to give you all what you need from the spiritual point and also from the physical point. And it's thinking about it, it's really it was amazing. When we're talking about the taxi drivers in China, I always remember another thing. When we're going back from the exhibition. Not when we in this exhibition, but in the normal exhibition, which would take an hour, maybe at rush hour, maybe 1.5 hours, maybe more, really a long time. And the prices that they wanted, unbelievable. One Friday, we went, I don't know if we were in the exhibition or in what, we were going back, and the taxi driver did an accident in the middle of the way, and he left us in the middle of the way. He took the money and left in the middle of the way. We didn't know what to do. It was Friday evening. Friday was in a few hours, and we trying to stop taxi. Nobody stops because everybody is, somebody ordered him, there's no place. And suddenly, and we offered a lot of money. One taxi driver stops and we start offering a lot of money, and he said, no. My wife is starting to cry because we don't know what to do. And this minute, everything changed. Okay, go in. I'm going to take you. Now, when we go to the hotel, he didn't take the money that we offered him. He took the money that he deserved. He says, no, I don't want this. Give me only what I deserve, which was much, 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 much less. And this brings us to another issue. is man really bad in his asset, or is he good? I'm not going to go into very philosophical things, but the main problem is that we are so inside us ourselves in our ego trip. Like we see, I think like this, I don't care about what you think. And sometimes we don't realize the problem that the other side's got. And it's not cruelty, it's being, let's say, not seeing the other, seeing myself. We see it on the road, how people drive, and we see it in a lot of places. It's not because they're evil, it's because they think only about themselves. But when they realize that you need them, suddenly everything changed. The same thing with this taxi driver, Chinese taxi, that's what he taught us. He taught us that they think, the taxi driver, he's not this rich tourist, this rich businessman, he's got money. I am poor guy, I've got a few nothing. I can take from him double or triple. Why not? But the minute he understands that you're not this rich businessman, you are, let's say, in a problem, you need to get to the place and you're in a need. Suddenly he realizes and he relates to it. And this is the way that we should work. Should try and relate to other people, not ignore them. And this is one of the biggest problems if we think about it. We are so involved with ourselves that we don't see what's happening outside. And this is also the problem what's happening now. Why do they go against the Torah, against us? They're afraid from one side. They're afraid that the Torah will have to change their way, their life. But at the end of the day, if we'll find the right way to deliver the message to the other side, to deliver the message, to be concerned, to think about it, and also let them understand how it hurts us when they go against the Torah, and let them know the basic of everything. We're talking about going with the way of the Torah, going against the Torah, talking about ego trip, and the main problem in our world is the ego. We are talking on the Kabbalah, they say there is the fake ego and is the real ego. The fake ego is I want, have. They give me. They want lust, they want this. And this is, by the way, when the Torah got down last week, also hatred came to the world. Why? Because the Torah is the truth. And all the nations that hate us so much, why do they hate us so much? Because we are the truth. And they don't like to see the truth. Because the truth means they have to change their ways. They have to try and be good. They cannot go and do all the sins that they're doing. They cannot run after the desires, the filthy desires that they've got. So they go against the truth, against the Torah. They hate the Torah. They will not. And that's exactly what's happening, unfortunately, also inside us. This ignorance, not knowing what we are, who we are, where we came from, and how important is the Torah, and how beautiful is the Torah. It looks from outside, maybe you think, oh, it's hard, we cannot do this. Like the Goyim said, we cannot get the Torah. But here Am Yisrael says, Na'aseh v'nishma. Because at the end of the day, the Torah is beautiful. God, He loves us, and if He tells us take the Torah, so we should take it. And al pi Hashem yachanu, al pi Hashem yisau, go according to what God wants us to do. And the light of the menorah that we just now received the Torah again, renewing this connection with the Torah, let the light of the holy menorah light the way, the right way to go, and let us find a way how to influence in the best way, in a nice way, and show those who don't know anything about tradition. And we see it. You ask people at the street, there is a thirst. They want to know. They realize, they see this hatred from all around. They see how people hate the truth. They see how Am Yisrael exists with all this hatred, with all those enemies, because it's a miracle, because God is with us. And don't forget, the train goes in one way. It goes from here to Olam Haba. This is only a passageway. And if we realize it and take the right direction, Be'ezrat Hashem, start, like I said, in our offices in Petach Tikva, this koilel, kiilati, this communal koilel, what they are doing, like finding the right, that nice way. If they do parties, when there is a yontif, they do all those beautiful things that call people to come. No restriction. No, you don't have to. But nice way, with food, with there is a way. And each one of us has to try and influence his family, his friends, his community. And Bezrat Hashem, we go in the right way. All the best. Shefa, Baruch, Vatzluch.